Hi, everyone. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I'm here to talk about some messages that I received this weekend about trust, preconceived notions, projections, just how much the way that we even look at trust or the way that we act towards trust. This is a big topic for a lot of people. Hey, Brooke. Um, Hope you're doing well, honey. I miss you. But yeah, I got a channeled message from Spirit about trust, and they brought a post to my attention yesterday, and there's quite a few things that I want to talk about when it comes to the word trust. What does it actually mean, and how our perception of trust can actually be pretty distorted, because Spirit really wants us to look at it in a different way. So good morning, Lachey. And I really want to pull some cards afterwards about what is being tested here, why what the previous perceptions of trust are really taking away from us, and when we shift our attitude in this new direction, what will that help us bring into our lives. So hey, Christina. And, there's just a few things in between. So I'm just going to dive right into it because, like I said, I think most people do have some form of trust issue. And what does that mean? That we're untrusting. Anyone who comes into our life, we always kind of feel that there's some ulterior motive, or people are false. And, a lot of people go into trusting someone with some already preconceived idea. Two of the biggest things that I've heard about trust, or the way that people trust, is, let me just read this to you. Okay. It's better if I just read it, because the way that it came out was so powerful. Hey, Jenny. So, when it comes to trust, we tend to already have a preconceived notion due to our past, whether we trust people or not. Spirit is simply asking us to stay neutral when we meet someone new. We do not come to the conclusion that they can't be trusted when they've never given us a reason not to. But does that mean that you fully give yourself and every part of yourself to someone who has not earned that trust either? For the majority, they don't want us to go in experience with our heart already guarded. Simply be open. There's always two sides to the coin. I don't trust anyone until they earn it, or I do not trust someone until they give me a reason not to. All they are asking us is to simply take the time to allow someone to show us their true colors, and by being open and receiving uniquely you will allow someone to see all of your quirks and the deepest part of what makes you you. Then you will see if that person is truly in alignment with you. Most people wear a mask trying to cover up who they really are, and that only lasts so long. They are simply asking us to take that chance and allow us to figure out through time, conversation, and energy exchange, to allow us to discern if that person is truly for our highest good. Okay? Hi, Isabel. Hey, Danny. So, a lot of people are going to take this in a very different way. Hi, Oracle. But one of the big things, and I've heard this my entire life, either, I don't trust someone until they give me a reason. Like, you have to earn it. And then there's already some people that say, I trust everyone until they give me a reason not to. Well, that's kind of black and white. Which one of the things that Spirit always asks us to do is stay neutral, stay in tune, listen to your intuition, use discernment. So many of us empaths will meet new people and see their soul recognition, see their soul signature, see that light within, no matter how dark and how 3D someone might be. We tend to get lost in that. So some of us with codependent issues, which been there, done that, still working through some of these issues of giving, and not receiving. Also, not taking enough time to truly, and this was used to be one of my biggest things, because I hated being alone. Because I always felt the more people I had in my life, the more that I was truly not alone, right? Because I hated being by myself. I hated being in my own energy. I was so out of self that I would look for anyone to fill that void. Now, I had severe trust issues, severe trust issues. So, as much as I was looking for these people to make my life a little more comfortable, right? That made it seem a little more familiar. Like I actually had people who I felt at the time understood me, but really I didn't even understand myself. So as I started growing and evolving, it really rubbed up against their demons because they weren't willing to change, right? But I had been burned so many times that I kind of went back and forth between that veil. I want to trust people. I want to, see the best in everyone. But I also had so many trust issues that I didn't really want to allow anyone in. I didn't really want people to see me because I've been judged and ridiculed my entire life. So, of course, I had problems with rejection. Of course, I had problems with abandonment. Of course, I had problems with allowing people to see me and fear that if they saw who I really was, that they'd turn around and run. But now I say, let them. We really need to come into it with a neutral perspective because so many of us are willing to jump the gun in order to have, someone we can connect to, right? But it's also one of those things that if we already have a preconceived notion due to our past, we're already projecting fear of abandonment, of rejection, of no matter how good it may seem, that the shoe is bound to drop at any point, right? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Sherry. But it's one of those things where if we allow ourselves to meet someone new, yes, we may see that soul, register. We might recognize them in some form or fashion. But most people who do wear a mask, which we all have done at some point, some of us are still doing it no matter how evolved we are. We kind of adapt to our, environment because not everyone can handle a bright light such as ourselves, okay? But does that mean we actually change who we are? No, because deep down we're still our core self, and we're not going to, fall into the trap of low vibrational energies and what people tend to, fall into. Like if there's a bunch of drama and, shit talking and gossip and all that kind of stuff, if I catch myself falling into any of those old patterns, I take myself out of the equation. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important that you use enough discernment. Be open. Like, we don't want to shut ourselves off and be like, oh, I hate everyone. No one's allowed in my bubble, because then you're missing out on a lot of beautiful souls that want to come in alignment with you, right? But if you already have a preconceived notion that nobody can be trusted, then I ask you, do you trust yourself? Because this is one of the biggest things that I have become aware of. I really used to not trust myself because I had been burned so many times, because, I had been let down so many times, or I thought I knew someone and then they turned out to not be anything like I thought they were. because I already had a preconceived notion of who I wanted them to be, right? So this is that time when you really need to look at yourself. Do I trust my intuition? Do I trust myself that when I see all the red flags and I know this person's not in alignment with me, do I trust myself to cut that cord and walk in the other direction? Do I have enough trust in myself to say, I need my boundaries to be in place, and if you don't respect it, then I wish you well? Do you trust yourself enough to make the right decision when it comes to aligning with the people who will be for your highest good, right? Usually, when we say that we do not trust someone else, it's because in some form or fashion, we don't trust ourselves. It's really hard for us to break free of these conditionings and say, like, oh, this is our way, this is that way, and how we interact with this world. But when you truly trust yourself and the decisions that you make, and you know that you can own those decisions no matter what the outcome may be, this is a really important part that Spirit is asking you to open up to. It doesn't mean that, I mean, you know, if you pay attention to subtle frequencies, you can immediately know if your energy is resonating with someone or not. But especially in a romantic sense, if you are, and even not, I've met tons of people that are not romantic, which I completely resonated with at some point, but then within a few weeks or a few months, shit goes crazy. Okay. And then you realize why you were in separation in the first place, which will be the next part. Okay. Now, it's one of those things where we have to give people time, not put any preconceived ideas or any tough expectations of who this person is and why they're in our lives, but simply just allowing your soul and their soul to figure out what is the dynamic between the two of you coming together, right? Because we're all mirrors, right? Every person we meet is some form of a reflection of what we like, what we dislike. And it's up to you to be able to discern whether that makes sense, whether it's for your highest good, what lesson needs to be learned, what energy needs to be transmuted, and what karmic cycle are you so fucking sick and tired of that you're ready to change. Okay? So then I saw a post that said, you meet someone. Give me 1 second. Oh, I got to get back to it. You meet someone and you're sure, like you are sure, right? You're sure you were lovers in a past life. Okay. After 2 weeks with them, you realize why you haven't kept in touch in the last 2,000 years. So many to, share their life with. I really want you to think about, like, anyone who is in search for love. I want to ask you why. Because there's so many things that, we can come up with of why we're looking for love, why we want love. But when you realize that there is love all around you, not one person brings that amount of love that just makes everything better. It is like a collective energy of the people that you surround yourself with, the energies that you align with. And if you are one of those people that tend to fall into the traps of unhealthy relationships with narcissists, overusers, abusers, addicts, those kind of things, then what are you searching for? If you are actively seeking love, this is why they're telling us, be open, allow people to come in. But even those that are enlightened or, have a good sense of self, there are still people who fall through the cracks. So allow people in, stay neutral, but also give enough time for you to really figure out how someone is going to choose to show up in your life. Whether that be a friend or a romantic partner, it doesn't really matter, because love is love. Love comes in many different forms, guys. But if we already have a preconceived notion that we can't trust this person until they prove their worth, are you really allowing them in? And if you say, well, I trust everyone until they give me a reason not to, then you're almost giving them free rein to do whatever they want in your life. And you're already saying, like, I'm attached to this person for whatever reason. So, again, stay neutral. You don't have to trust everyone that comes into your life, but do you need to shun everyone for something that they've never even done or given you a reason to feel like you need to fear them? Because if you don't trust someone, then you're already in fear that they're going to hurt you, right? So just kind of think about these things as you go along and as you meet someone. Are you already in fear when you start to feel something? When you feel that soul recognition, does it bring up, resistance? There are a lot of people where your body, your soul will naturally reject someone else's, and your anxiety and your fear get brought up. These are things we need to question. Is that due to my past, or is my body literally telling me, stop, bitch? Okay? Don't go there. You already know. And I actually have a friend going through that right now. When she's not with someone in particular, great conversation, everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. But the moment that they get together, her anxiety goes through the roof. Her energy wants to reject him. She gets a lot of fear brought up. So these are the things. And then again, she's drained. This person is, oh, I feel great after hanging out with you. Right? So if you have someone that is sucking the energy out of you, no matter how much it may be fun to conversate and blah, 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 have healthy boundaries in place. Understand when your energy is being siphoned or you are being used, abused, or taken advantage of, and have enough courage and enough strength to say, you know what, it's not that I don't care about you, but this isn't for me. Right? Or set some healthy boundaries in place, protect yourself, but also understand the dynamic between the two of you, right? So if everyone comes into your life that is the opposite sex and you just immediately think, oh, well, this person must be my soulmate. I feel this really strong connection. And, no matter what the dynamic may be, you're already looking at them as a romantic partner. You're already putting a preconceived idea of what this relationship is going to look like without even giving it a chance to see how that connection fits into your life, right? So these are just some things to be aware of when it comes to trust. Yeah. Are you allowing people into your life to see you? Because the only way you can be authentic with others is if you're truly authentic with yourself. Do not try to hide you. The right people are going to love every bit of you. Things you consider flaws, the things you consider your best attributes, everyone is going to see it differently. You can put 10 people around you and they're all going to see a different version of you. Right? I actually read an article or, something about this the other day where this girl was very quiet around certain people. She had a couple exes that gave their idea about her, and or it wasn't even exes, it was people that, knew her or whatever. And they all had a different perception of her, and yet none of them were really right. No one actually knew the way that she really was. She was showing them what she wanted to show them, and then they had their ideas about her without even really getting to know her. So again, take the time to get to know yourself, Be authentically you. Let people see that. Don't hide it. And you will know if that person is in alignment with your present and your future. But do not go in with the like baggage from your past already pushing onto people who are trying to come into your life, because it's not fair. It's not fair. So let's get into the tarot cards. We're going to figure out, first off, with the old ways of believing and interacting with trust issues, okay, what is it holding us back from? Okay. Yeah. Taking our courage and our abundance, right? So with the 10 of Pentacles being here, the 8 of Pentacles, okay, so for people who feel like they can't trust anyone due to their past and their past hurts, those kind of things, it is literally robbing you of your abundance and being able to work together with other people, right? To say, hey, it hurts me when, okay, give people a chance to understand what your boundaries are. And if they don't act upon that, or don't take your emotions or your feelings into consideration, which they don't have to, but someone who cares about you will, right? All right, Jenny, see you later. But it's like literally hearing and feeling each other and working on it together, right? Because that's what people do when they love each other. It doesn't matter what the relationship is, whether it is a parent, a sibling, your child, your best friend, or your romantic partner. Anyone who truly loves and respects you is going to hear what you have to say when you have been hurt. Now, does that necessarily mean they did anything wrong? Maybe you're projecting. Maybe they are. Everyone is human. Not everyone is going to be perfect to you 100% of the time. But the point is when you voice your opinion, when you voice your feelings, and you set healthy boundaries, then when you say, hey, this doesn't feel good to me when you do this, or it hurts me when this situation arises, or I don't feel heard, I don't feel respected, the person is going to figure out and come to a compromise in order to make sure that no one gets hurt, okay? And that's what's creating this 10 of Pentacles energy, where everyone is in a harmonized union, where everyone understands and respects each other, and they can be supportive of even in these moments when it might not be so pretty, because we all have human moments. We all have our freak out moments. We all have our depressive moments. We all have anxiety at some point, even those that are doing the mostest of their work. We all trip sometimes, but we get back up. We dust ourselves off. We keep moving forward, and we support each other through the process. That's the point of balance, right? You don't want to be the one that's picking your friends up all the time, but when you need them, are they ever there to answer the call, right? You want to know that when you call on your friend, they're going to be there just as quickly as you are for them. That is the point of equal energy exchange. Okay. And it goes the same for your romantic relationships. Don't be the one that gives everything and gets absolutely no respect in return. Okay. That is what I'm talking about. And by projecting all the untrusting feelings onto it, you're creating a lack of harmony in your life, because you're already putting it out there that there are untrusting people, everyone is the same, and no one understands you, which is bull. It's bull. That is a limited, lack mentality. Because if I had not let go of everything and everyone that was not in alignment and gone through that purge of being by myself, getting used to my own energy, and realigning myself with the right people, I would not have met any of you. I would not have met my tribe. I would not be with people who fully understand who I am, appreciate me in all my weirdness, okay? And people who are actually willing to reach out, even in my low moments, and say, hey, Jess, we got you. You know what I'm saying? That's what tribe does. So, regardless of their title or their position in your life, if you feel like you can't trust someone or you can't speak up for yourself, then I ask you, please trust yourself and speak up. You will find out if that person means well by you or not. Now, if they try to convince you that you're crazy and overreacting and I done run over your dog, but, fuck your dog, it's your fault type shit, then you know what I'm saying? That is not healthy. Don't let people run all over you and then make you feel crazy because you have a natural reaction to pain. Okay? That is narcissism. Just saying. So, love on yourself, love on your boundaries, love on your trust for self and for having faith that you will be aligned with the right people who fully understand you, that you are loved and supported by the divine. And when you choose to work with self and work through the triggers, work through, your BS, because listen, we all have it. We all have it, and it's okay. But if you don't trust yourself, you're not going to be able to trust anyone else, because you have to be able to trust what your body, your intuition, your spiritual alignment and evolution is teaching you about all these things, so that you can make your decision for yourself if this person is in alignment with your highest good. Okay? So let's see. When we take this new perception of trust and staying neutral and taking the time to get to know people, allowing ourselves to be as authentic as possible, and trusting ourselves with our intuition and who we are in alignment with, what can we expect to change? Is there anything else? Yeah. You're going to release, victim mentality. Okay. And listen, there might be some things that you've been holding on to that are going to get shook up. Okay. Divine intervention. When you come to this realization that you've been holding on to victim mentality, or, this lack of trust within this world and within self, I feel like all these things that you felt you were holding on to that make you, that keep you protected, you know what I'm saying? Like holding on for dear life. Spirit's coming in and clearing those things out, because now it's being brought to your awareness. But we also have the Three of Wands and the World card. So that means like now you can make that decision for yourself. I let go of lack mentality. I let go of this fear. I let go of not being able to trust myself or anyone who comes into my life. And I let my heart be free to explore for itself. That's when you're really going to see the cycle start to come to a close, so new ones can start to open. And that comes with clarity. It comes with a full cup. It comes with stability and passion and drive to move forward. And it also comes with tangible new beginnings, because we're finally saying enough is enough. I let go of this fear. I let go of this victim mentality, and I invite new love into my life that is in alignment, because I drink it from my own cup. The Ace of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. You'll start to gain more clarity about taking the time to get to know someone trusting that you're tending to your own garden instead of putting all of your efforts into tending to someone else's, and understanding that if you do not feel completely content with the love that is offered, then you have the ability to say no. You have every right to say no, because you finally know your independence. Again, tending to your own garden, tending to your own abundance, tending to your own happiness, and not expecting anyone else to do it for you. There is no more of the river of tears. There is no more missing out on opportunities because you're so stuck in the past, while you invite new opportunities to start all over again, to walk through this new portal of success and abundance that is a brand new day for you. The pinnacles start, right? It's the ace. Now you have the opportunity to start all over again and have these offerings from the divine to say, I create my own abundance. I create my own success, right? And that stubbornness will bow down to you because you give your stubbornness a new job. Instead of using the stubbornness to keep people out, it's fighting those fears, right? So, like, okay, for instance, I used to I would find any reason to be scared, or stay in victim mode, or even when it comes to certain fears of mine. And I just gave it a new role, guys, because, like, listen, I'm stubborn. I'm Taurus with a whole bunch of Aries. I got stubbornness across my chart, but I ended up giving my stubbornness a new perspective. Instead of using it as a lack mentality or a victim mentality, I started using it to fuel my desire, especially when I come across detours or distractions or obstacles in my way. Like, listen, I know that when things try to stop me, that means I'm in alignment, because I know I'm in alignment. When you know who you are and you know the direction that you're heading, regardless of the details, you know that you are moving forward and there is no going back. You can look at yourself and say, yes, I have done this, and it's due to my resiliency and trust in myself and faith in the Lord that I can do anything that I put my mind to, right? So it's all about looking at it from a different perspective, changing the mentality that is associated to trust, love, faith, and have that due diligence within yourself, and quit spreading yourself so thin for other people who wouldn't even bat an eye for you, right? And it's not that they're bad people, or they just don't know how to show up for you, right? And most of us don't know how to show up for other people because we don't even know how to show up for ourselves. And that's what we're all trying to learn. We're getting closer and closer to learning how to say, okay, I need time for myself, or okay, I need me time. Okay, I need time with my friends, or I need, just to zone out for a while. I need to listen to my music. I need to dance, whatever the case may be. Maybe I need to get creative. Do whatever brings your heart joy. But I can tell you, if you are feeling any sort of way about trust that it does not feel good, then it's really time for you to take a look at that and understand that Spirit doesn't want you to be scared. They just want you to be open to be receiving and be able to make a choice that you can be proud of, right? So I hope these messages help you, and hopefully it makes some sense to you. But I really appreciate all of you joining in today. And if you enjoyed today's messages, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, drop me a comment. If you're new, welcome. Welcome to the family. If you enjoyed these messages, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I wish you all well. All right. And if anyone has any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. All my information is down below in the description box. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.